Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I wanted to go over a topic that was requested on the male side, and so I'm just making both. I don't know which one's going to post first, but today we're going to talk about what women don't understand about attractive men. This was discussed a couple of times in the comments section in a lot of different ways, so I just compiled some of the things that I see as a therapist, particularly when I see couples, to kind of help you guys with what you're looking for and some of the questions you have. And then also, I'm going to make the other version as well. And I think the first one is probably the most important, which is why I put it first, is a lot of women don't understand that attractive men, they probably don't know they're attractive because men are often not praised about their looks. And so what does this mean and what can you do if you're a lady and you kind of want to understand him a little bit? A lot of women in therapy, like couples therapy, etc., let's say they compliment their husband. He takes it well, but sometimes he's not sure how to take it, or he might rate himself as, in terms of attractive level, he might say, I'm a little bit unattractive, or I don't even know how attractive I am. And he's not saying that in a way where he's feeling bad for himself. He's genuine. And she's like, I don't understand. I think he's like the most attractive guy in the world. He's so attractive to me. And of course, attraction is also based on perspective, of course. And for women particularly, they feel more attracted to somebody they feel emotionally bonded with. So a lot of times if you're in a happy marriage, you're going to find him attractive, of course. But a lot of times it's just simply because men are very rarely complimented, but especially with their looks, right? Even you can look at on my channel, one of the earlier videos I made was about how you know you're an attractive man. And a lot of men were putting themselves down in the comment section a lot, or a lot of people didn't fit the criteria. And that's just one example, right? There's so much research in other ways. But you can see that a lot of men don't know if they're attractive. They're curious about it. And it's not that he's unattractive or that he's trying to pretend that he is, or he's trying to trick you or manipulate you. It's just he really doesn't know. So if you obviously want to open him up about that or connect with him, compliment him with the attractiveness from yourself genuinely. That can really help. The next one is a lot of men do appreciate being resourceful and useful. However, he doesn't want to be taken advantage of, so he may come across guarded at first. A lot of men, especially men who are attractive, whether they realize it or not, they may attract a lot of people, but sometimes those people are not healthy for him. And so in his mind, he may have a negative view of the opposite sex and being taken advantage of his resources, of his looks, of what he has, whatever it may be, because that's what has happened to him. He's uncomfortable with that. He's afraid of that. And so he may be very guarded, even though actually he does want to give you what he has, but he just wants to know that he can trust you first. And so he's going to be guarded. He's going to be more slower to open up because he has that history. I actually have a lot of patients, of course, I'm not going to give you their details, but in general, who have had a lot of negative experiences in relationships. And it's just made them so much more guarded and afraid. I know that people don't like using that word, but it really is. They're kind of afraid to give and be their most genuine version because they were taken advantage of. So it doesn't mean that he's stingy or he's mean or he doesn't like women. It's not usually that. You may perceive it that way, and I'm not judging anyone who, might perceive somebody that way. There's a lot of miscommunication in general among men and women and couples in general. It's usually because he just got hurt. The next one is he may not trust you right away. This is something that it happens a lot in relationships. Now, we're not just talking about resourcefulness. In general, he may not trust you right away for a plethora of reasons. Just because he's an attractive man doesn't mean he's not, it doesn't mean he's immune to childhood trauma. It doesn't mean he's immune to maybe a painful relationship or marriage in his past. He's a human, right? And so he's not going to trust you right away. And it's not because he's a player or he's stringing you along. It is because his trust got broken. So he's just trying to learn the best way to navigate this situation, of course, without hurting you. He's not trying to hurt you, but also so he doesn't hurt himself. Because if he's hurt or if he's operating in a way that's not healthy, first of all, it is going to hurt the relationship. It's going to continue to hurt him, but also it's going to hurt you. And so he's guarded and he's slowly learning to trust not just for himself. Really, if you ask a lot of these men, a lot of times it's also because he doesn't want to disappoint you. He doesn't want to
say something that he's not ready to say, or provide something and then later he takes it back. All that's going to make him do is feel more hurt. You're going to be mad at him, and then the relationship is just going to suffer more. So rather he take his time and be more slow about what he can provide and give, so that when he's ready to fully be himself and trust you, he knows confidently that this is going to be something he's able to continuously provide. He's not going to do something he's not ready for. That's a good sign, typically. A lot of decent men do that. They're not going to give you things right away all the time because he's human, he's not an object, and he wants to make sure. So he doesn't want, it's really the opposite of stringing you along to some extent, because he's really trying to be sure, okay? The next one is attractive men will still feel unappreciated and disrespected if you disrespect the relationship. Just because he's attractive doesn't mean he's not going to have his own insecurities. And I'm not saying he's an insecure person or he's overly jealous. It just means that most people are going to want loyalty, and they're not going to want you playing games or texting other people when you get mad at him. That stuff is not... A lot of men in general, regardless of attractiveness, is not going to like that. But in general, a lot of women think if a man is attractive, that he's going to be able to deal with some of these things, or these things are not going to bother him as much. So you're almost trying to get, if you're a woman, not all women are like this, but I know especially if they grew up in broken homes or a lot of trauma, sometimes they feel like he's not going to have a reaction, and they want a reaction out of him. So they might behave a little bit, out of left field, or whatever you want to call it, where they're trying to make him jealous to see him have a reaction. But him being attractive does not mean he's immune to just regular things. He's not going to like if you talk to his friends a certain way, if you're trying to flirt, or if you're trying to dress a certain way. Doesn't mean he's trying to control you. He just wants respect. As long as you're respecting him and the relationship, he's going to be fine overall. It's not about jealousy or control. It's about him feeling that that's something fundamental for his relationship. Him being attractive does not mean he's immune to protectiveness and psychological territorial behaviors. This is part of who a lot of them are. A lot of men are like this. A lot of people are like this when they're in a relationship, okay? He is a human, and he does have a childhood and a past as well. We were talking about this earlier in the video, but I wanted to clarify that as a particular separate point. Understanding him for who he is rather than who you want him to be can help him to open up. Just because he's attractive does not mean that he's going to be your, imaginative Prince Charming or whatever some people get confused about. And I'm not picking on ladies here. I'm actually trying to help. He's a human, and he's going to be however he is. Whatever his baggage is, whatever your baggage is, whatever they look like in the relationship is going to show up, regardless of if you want it or not. Understanding him is going to make the relationship a lot more palatable to both of you, and it'll help you both to adjust with what's needed and necessary for the relationship to go forward. But he is a human. He has a childhood. He has a past. He's been burned before. He's not immune to things just because he's attractive. And the last one, which is pretty common, but I might be a little biased because it's based on my caseload and patients I've seen, and maybe these particular men are more willing to go to therapy for whatever reasons. I'm not sure. So keep that in mind. And also it could be based on my specializations. A lot of them might be a little bit of a loner. It doesn't mean they're completely alone. It doesn't mean they don't like people. It just sometimes it's harder for these type of men to get along with other men, because other men, believe it or not, I've seen this, men are jealous of other men. Some men can actually get really mean and jealous with other men. I've seen it. They're actually really intimidated, and they may tear other men down. Some of you guys know this. Like, men can be mean. I have seen it where men are bullies too. I think a lot of people think ladies are bullies to attractive women. Some of them are, but I really feel like attractive men get a lot of hate. Like, I mean, think about even celebrities, how people tear attractive celebrities apart, even when they're young and they're growing up, and people are just so mean to these people. They make fun of them. They compare them to so many things. One in particular I'm thinking about, but honestly, I kind of forgot his name. I'm bad with names, but they were so mean to him when he was growing up. And I think he's probably like 20 now, 21. Maybe he's 19. I don't know. Maybe he's older than that. I can't remember his name, but when he was growing up, people were so mean to him, and he was clearly an attractive, well-spoken man. I don't even remember his name. But anyways, yeah, I'm sure that if you were in that situation, you would not want to talk to other men because people are just not nice. And so these are some of the ways that I feel like if you're a lady and you want to understand men, particularly a man that you're attracted to who's probably an attractive man, this is some of the foundations that can help you. I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.